Chapter 13, Minitab Express. The activity includes 3 questions. Using the data in the textbook dataset, answer the following questions. Question 1. Using the data in the textbook dataset, explore the relationship of the public safety expenditures to county median family income. Create a scatter plot and describe what you see. I will use different variables to demonstrate how you will work with this type of question. We'll explore whether human services expenditures located in column C33 vary by county mean household income located in column C40. Let's look at the scatter plot to get an idea of the relationship between these 2 variables. Use graph, scatter plot, simple, and we'll select these 2 variables. Human services, C33 as the Y, and mean family income as X. Here is the scatter plot. We see that as income increases, expenditures increase. Question 2. Create a new variable that categorizes median household income level into 3 groups, low, medium, high. Create at least one graphical display showing public safety expenditures by the 3 categories of median family income. Describe how public safety expenditure varies by the median family income categories. I will use mean household income located in column C40 and create a variable titled income level with low, the lowest 33 counties, medium, middle 34 counties, and high, top 33 counties. It is easiest to use the rankings to create these new variables, so I'll rank the column and then use the ranks to create the new variables. Using data, rank, for mean household income located in C40, Minitab Express will place the ranks in the next blank column, which is column C79. To create the new variable, use data to text and I'll select the ranks that we just created. And this will be stored in column C80, and I'm going to input the lower and upper range for each of the categories. So for the low, I'm going to go from 1 to 33. For medium, I'm going to go from 34 to 67. And for high, I'm going to go from 68 to 100. And so now my coded or my categories are located in column C80. I will investigate the effect of income levels on human services expenditures located in column C33 using box plots. You can also use histograms, dot plots, etc. Select graphs, box plot, with groups, select the variable you want to graph, and I'm going to use human services expenditures in column C33. And my grouping variable is the one that I just created. Here are the box plots. I see that as income rises, the human services expenditures also rise. This agrees with the scatter plot from question 1. I see some outliers in the low and the high groups that I might want to investigate. Question 3. Test the hypothesis that the public safety expenditures vary by county median family income level. State the research and null hypotheses. To test the hypotheses, would you use a chi-square test or a t-test? Justify your choice. Perform the appropriate statistical procedure. Based on the analysis, would you reject your null hypothesis? What evidence did you use to make your decision? I will explore whether human services expenditure vary by county mean household income. My research hypothesis and null hypotheses are H1, as mean income increases, human services expenditures increase. HO, null, the level of human services expenditures does not differ with mean income. To test the hypothesis, would you use a chi-square or a t-test? Justify your choice. I will use a chi-square test. Why? Perform the appropriate statistical procedure based on your analysis. Would you reject your null? What evidence do you use to make your decision? I've created the income categories in question 2. I need to create the human services expenditure categories. I will create a variable titled Human Services categories with low, medium, and high. See the instructions in question 2 for guidance. I'll place these ranks in column C81 and then the categories in column C82. Human Services was located in, and then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to recode as we did before. Now I can use these new variables in the chi-square analysis. We use statistics, cross-tabulation, and chi-square test. Select the row and column variables. I'll select income for the rows. And Human Services for the columns. Click Display to select the chi-square test and show expected cell counts and each cell's contribution to the chi-square. Click OK. So here's my output. We see that the chi-square statistic has a p-value of 0.0002, which tells us that the level of expenditure is not independent of the income level. We can say that Human Services expenditure is associated with the income level. Examining the cell contribution to the chi-square, we see that the cell with the high Human Service expenditure and high income is contributing the most. This agrees with the box plots from question 2. We could also explore this further by examining other characteristics of the counties that fall into this cell.